What if I were to inform you that Carl Jung uncovered a psychological truth of such profound significance that when you articulate it to a narcissist will never again be able to disrespect you in the same manner? Remain engaged, for by the conclusion of this video, you will possess 6 declarations that will fundamentally alter the power dynamic to your advantage. Are you weary of navigating a landscape fraught with tension, exhausted from being guilt-tripped, held accountable, or compelled to doubt your own perception of reality? Should you find yourself in the company of an individual who consistently seeks victory, demands validation, and oscillates between adoration and disparagement? This discourse is tailored for your consideration. Whether this person is a narcissistic superior, companion, neighbor, offspring, progenitor, or even a significant other, we have curated a selection of effective phrases designed to dismantle their influence over you. Carl Jung posited that everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. However, Jung's insights extend beyond mere introspection. He elucidated the intricate psychological dynamics through which certain personality archetypes, now identified as narcissistic, exert control over others via manipulation. What is particularly intriguing is Jung has also uncovered the antidote, and I am poised to share with you the precise phrases that will dismantle their control loop indefinitely. However, it is essential to first grasp the psychological principles at play that render these declarations irresistible to narcissists, as articulated by Carl Jung. Narcissists function from what has been termed the shadow self, encompassing aspects of their personality that they find difficult to accept. They externalize these undesirable traits onto others, thereby inducing a sense of responsibility in you for their emotions, failures, and insecurities. Jung elucidated that individuals exhibiting narcissistic traits employ a distinct mechanism of control, which contemporary psychologists have termed a trauma bond. They instigate a profound questioning of your reality, self-worth, and even your sanity through a discernible cycle of idealization, devaluation, and eventual discard. Does this resonate? However, there exists a pivotal insight that could transform your perspective. Carl Jung identified a singular vulnerability among narcissists. They're incapable of sustaining their fabricated persona when faced with unequivocal psychological independence. This is precisely what such declarations foster. Jung articulated, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Narcissists are unable to confront their true selves, living in constant fear of exposure. They resort to controlling others as a means of evading self-reflection. However, when one makes certain declarations, they engage in a process akin to what Jung termed individuation, moving towards psychological wholeness and autonomy. This state renders them impervious to the manipulations of narcissists. The first declaration I am about to present is particularly effective against narcissistic parents or children, possessing a potency that halts their emotional manipulation immediately. Before I disclose it, it is essential to grasp the underlying principles of its efficacy. According to Carl Jung, healthy psychological development necessitates differentiation, the capacity to distinguish one's own emotions from those of others. Narcissistic parents or children often decline to engage in this process, thereby placing the onus of emotional regulation upon you. Herein lies your affirmation. I am not accountable for managing your emotions. This assertion is effective as it delineates what Jung referred to as a psychological boundary. By articulating this, you're not acting with malice. Rather, you're fostering psychological well-being. Carl Jung elucidated that individuals who struggle to manage their own emotions often seek to attribute responsibility for their emotional state to others. When confronted with this reality, a narcissist may initially respond with heightened aggression, employing tactics such as guilt, anger, or the silent treatment. This behavior aligns with Jung's concept of shadow projection, wherein they attempt to impose their own shame onto you. However, if you steadfastly maintain your boundaries, a significant shift occurs. By consistently refusing to take on the burden of their emotional regulation, you dismantle their primary means of control over you. Jung posited, "What you resist persists, but what you accept transforms." By acknowledging that their emotions do not fall within your purview, you fundamentally alter the nature of the interaction. The second assertion regarding a narcissistic romantic partner reveals that Carl Jung identified a fundamental misunderstanding among narcissists. They conflate love with control. They operate under the belief that possessing control over another equates to possessing their love. However, Jung posited that genuine love necessitates what he termed a conscious relationship, wherein both individuals uphold their distinct identities while opting to engage with one another. Herein lies your proclamation regarding romantic partners characterized by narcissism. Affection devoid of respect is not true affection. It is merely a form of control. This assertion is profoundly unsettling for those with narcissistic tendencies, as it lays bare their most profound anxiety, that what they perceive as love is, in fact, a form of possession. However, the surprising element lies in the fact that by articulating this, one is not terminating the relationship, but rather extending an opportunity for authentic love. Yet, many narcissists struggle to embrace this. As noted by Carl Jung, individuals with narcissistic traits often harbor a deep-seated fear of genuine intimacy, which necessitates vulnerability. By asserting that love must encompass respect, one is insisting that they present their true selves rather than a constructed, inflated persona. This is the crux of the declaration's potency. It challenges them to attain psychological maturity, a feat they may find beyond their reach. Third declaration regarding a self-absorbed neighbor or acquaintance. Jung elucidated that individuals with narcissistic tendencies perceive existence as a contest, wherein there must be a victor and a vanquished. They endeavor to ensnare you within their competitive perspective, as they require the sensation of superiority over another. Herein lies your proclamation. I have no desire to engage in competition with you. My attention is directed towards embracing and savoring my existence. When you articulate this, an intriguing phenomenon unfolds within the psyche of the narcissist. Carl Jung referred to it as projection. It is a form of withdrawal. They have been projecting their competitive nature onto you, presuming that you share their obsession with winning. However, when you decline to engage in competition, their projection finds no outlet. This declaration is effective as it exemplifies what Jung referred to as psychological sovereignty. It signifies that one is not engaging in the prescribed dynamics of others, but rather leading a life governed by personal principles. Individuals of a narcissistic disposition find it challenging to exert influence over those who decline to participate in their psychological contests. Number 4. A declaration concerning a narcissistic sibling or extended family member, as per Carl Jung's insights. Family systems frequently facilitate narcissistic behavior through what he termed unconscious collusion. Family members often sidestep conflict by permitting the narcissist to infringe upon boundaries, operating under the premise that familial ties supersede personal limits. Herein lies your assertion. We share blood, not boundaries. I delineate those for myself. This assertion is transformative, as it distinguishes biological affiliation from psychological independence. Carl Jung articulated that the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Yet it is often the case that narcissistic family members impose their own needs upon you, compelling you to conform to their expectations in order to uphold their self-image. When you assert that sharing blood does not equate to sharing boundaries, you are articulating what Jung referred to as your authentic self. You are emphasizing that familial ties do not supersede your entitlement to psychological safeguarding. Fifth proclamation regarding a self-absorbed acquaintance. Jung identified that individuals with narcissistic tendencies do not cultivate authentic friendships. Rather, they establish what he termed narcissistic alliances. These connections are fundamentally transactional. wherein one party provides something with the expectation of receiving something in return, typically in the form of emotional validation or social standing. Herein lies my proclamation. Henceforth, I shall prioritize the significance of mutual connection over mere emotional exchanges. This assertion reveals the narcissist's deficiency in establishing authentic relationships. Carl Jung posited that authentic friendship necessitates what he termed mutual individuation, wherein both individuals foster each other's development without the impulse to dominate or possess one another. This perspective emerges when one expresses a desire for genuine connection rather than mere emotional transactions. You are seeking something that many individuals with narcissistic tendencies struggle to offer: authentic care devoid of ulterior motives. In the context of a narcissistic superior or colleague, as noted by Carl Jung, such individuals often exploit professional settings to satiate their desire for dominance and control, fostering toxic dynamics that undermine team spirit and efficiency. Here are 3 distinct workplace declarations you might consider. Feel free to select the one that resonates with you most. 1. I thrive in environments where mutual respect enhances everyone's potential. This statement effectively shifts the focus of the discussion towards productivity and achievement, rather than engaging in personal power conflicts. Carl Jung discovered that individuals with narcissistic tendencies encounter difficulties when their focus is shifted from exerting control to achieving results. Therefore, let us concentrate on solutions, as this approach facilitates a more harmonious environment for the team. This second workplace declaration is astute, as it embodies what Jung referred to as psychological Aikido. You are skillfully utilizing the narcissist's energy to your advantage. While they seek to instigate drama and conflict, you are adeptly channeling that energy into constructive problem solving. Furthermore, your perception of me does not dictate my identity. This ultimate workplace declaration is arguably the most compelling, as it exemplifies what Carl Jung referred to as psychological independence. One does not seek to manipulate another's perception, nor does one allow such perceptions to dictate one's own sense of self. Consider the insights of Carl Jung, which may profoundly alter your understanding of narcissistic dynamics. It is essential to recognize that narcissists are not inherently intent on causing harm. Rather, they are often engaged in a defense mechanism to shield themselves from their own emotional suffering. However, this understanding does not excuse their actions, nor does it place the burden of their healing upon you. Jung expressed, clarity of vision emerges when one gazes into the depths of their heart. Those who gaze outward engage in dreams, while those who turn inward attain enlightenment. Narcissists find themselves ensnared in the pursuit of external validation. These affirmations serve to awaken you to your intrinsic strength. The efficacy of these affirmations over time can be understood through the lens of Carl Jung, who posited that psychological transformation occurs via what he termed consistent conscious action. Each instance of employing these affirmations contributes to this process. You are fortifying your psychological autonomy. You are cultivating the ability to react from your genuine self, rather than from fear or the desire for validation. Carl Jung observed that when one consistently operates from a place of psychological independence, a remarkable transformation occurs. The attraction to narcissistic relationships diminishes, and one's energy undergoes a significant shift. Your boundaries become distinctly defined, and individuals of sound character are naturally attracted to your genuine nature. Jung posited that genuine psychological transformation unfolds in distinct stages. Initially, one must recognize the unhealthy dynamics at play. Subsequently, it is essential to cultivate strategies for altering one's responses. Finally, these strategies must be applied consistently until new patterns are ingrained. The aforementioned declarations serve as your instruments. However, Carl Jung cautioned that the process of change often entails discomfort, as the narcissist may challenge your boundaries and potentially escalate their behavior, a phenomenon Jung referred to as the healing crisis. It is often observed that circumstances may deteriorate before they improve. However, Jung assured that by maintaining consistency with these affirmations and steadfastly resisting the temptation to revert to previous behaviors, the narcissist will ultimately cease their attempts to exert control over you. This shift occurs not due to any transformation on their part, but rather because you have become impervious to their influence. Carl Jung stated, "Until you bring the unconscious into awareness, it will govern your existence, and you will refer to it as fate." For an extended period, you have inadvertently tolerated disrespect due to a lack of awareness regarding your capacity to alter the prevailing dynamics. These affirmations serve to illuminate the unconscious, restoring your agency, and reminding both the narcissist and yourself that you are entitled to respect. According to Carl Jung, the instant you genuinely acknowledge your worth and cease to seek validation from external sources, you attain psychological liberation. These declarations transcend mere words. They represent your proclamation of autonomy. While the narcissist may remain unchanged, your transformation alters the entire landscape. Recall Jung's insight. The most profound inquiry one can pose is, what myth am I living? Cease to perpetuate the fallacy that one must endure disrespect in order to preserve relationships. Embrace the reality that you are worthy of being valued, respected, and honored. Utilize these affirmations, engage in their practice, and place your trust in them. The insights of Carl Jung have endured through the ages, as they illuminate essential aspects of human psychology. At the core of this understanding lies a profound truth. You possess the ability to command a respect that is rightfully yours. The pivotal inquiry remains. Will you choose to exercise this power? Carl Jung stated, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." The individual exhibiting narcissistic traits in your life has imparted a significant lesson. You possess a strength greater than your previous self-awareness, a worthiness beyond your prior beliefs, and a power that surpasses your imagination. Which of the aforementioned affirmations will you choose to embrace? We invite you to share your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you for accompanying me on this intellectual journey. If you found today's discourse enriching, please consider subscribing to the channel and sharing this video with others who may find it beneficial.